In this pod, we will look at the different forms of propaganda used by the Nazi Party to spread and consolidate their ideology.
The Nazi Party had never held a majority within the Reichstag at the time that Hitler came to power. Even in their most successful democratic election in March 1933, they held only 43.9% of the total vote. In order to fully control Germany, they began to utilize fear tactics and propaganda.
Hitler was familiar with the power of effective propaganda. He used it to ensure his own success in the run-up to elections. Now that he was in control of Germany, he wanted to use it to ensure that only the Nazi ideology and the benefits of the Nazi regime were shown. Hitler appointed Dr. Joseph Goebbels as his Minister of Propaganda and National Enlightenment. Goebbels was an effective spin doctor and described the role of propaganda as winning people over to an idea so sincerely, so vitally, that in the end they succumb to it utterly and can never escape from it. Through propaganda, Goebbels tried to spread and indoctrinate three messages: the superiority of the Aryan race, the greatness of Germany, and the widespread adoration of the Führer.
Propaganda was often used to control Germany's culture. For example, to ensure full control over the arts, Goebbels established the Reich Chamber of Commerce in 1933. Any person wishing to publish, paint, or perform had to be a member of this chamber. As a consequence of this system, censorship was introduced. The people of Germany could only access material that the Nazis had approved. Protest art was illegal. To eliminate existing books that were against Nazi ideology, Goebbels organized book-burning events. The first was held on the 10th of May, 1933.
An equal level of censorship was applied to the film industry. The Nazi Party controlled every element of production and release. Films were created that supported key Nazi messages. In the film The Eternal Jew, Jewish people were compared to rats and linked to the spreading of disease. The popularity of cinema also gave the Nazis an ideal place to spread their messages. Before a film started, newsreels would show Nazi successes and party broadcasts.
Goebbels wanted the Nazi message to be widespread and broadcasted across the country. To ensure it would reach everyone, he organized the sale of cheap radios, called the People's Receiver. The number of radios owned was a huge success for the regime, with 4.5 million radios in 1932, rising to 16 million by 1942. This was an effective way to spread the Nazi message. Loudspeakers were erected in streets from 1938. Hitler's speeches and party broadcasts would blare out into the streets.
The use of propaganda was highly effective in establishing Hitler as a powerful, godlike leader. The renowned historian Ian Kershaw enforces the importance of the party creating Hitler as the leader for whom the nation had been waiting. The success of the Führer's public image was summarized by Goebbels in 1941. He declared the Hitler myth, the creation of Hitler as a heroic, strong, all-powerful German leader, as one of his greatest achievements.
Propaganda was expanded into almost all elements of daily life. Rallies were held in which Hitler gave eloquent, dramatic speeches. The most famous displays and rallies were held annually in August at Nuremberg. Hitler also held rallies commemorating the men that were killed in the failed Munich Putsch, his first attempt to claim power over Germany. Nighttime light displays would shoot powerful beams of light into the sky. Architecture would reflect Nazi ideology. Public spaces such as cafes were legally obliged to play speeches and radio broadcasts.
In 1936, Berlin held the Olympics. Germany had been awarded the right to host the Olympics prior to Hitler's rise to power. This was a great coup for Goebbels, as it gave him an international stage to show how great the Nazi regime was. Anti-Semitic propaganda, portraying Jewish people as villains and monsters, was removed prior to the Games. Instead, it was replaced by Aryan images and the successes of the regime. The Aryan message was exemplified when Siegfried Eifrig helped to carry the torch that lit the Olympic flame. To the Nazi Party, he personified the Aryan ideal. He was tall, blonde, blue-eyed, and athletic.